From the station that brings you local news first, you're watching Fox 4 News at 6:30.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us live from downtown Palisade, where it's all about the ice cream.
He's Logan. I'm Lena. And earlier today, there was a lot of rain out here. We were getting a little concerned.
Yeah,
it seems like it's cleared out quite a bit. All the umbrellas I saw, no longer out. But we should probably check with the expert to see what it's going to look like for the rest of the day and week.
Yep, very important weekend. Russ, what do we got looking ahead?
Well, I'll tell you, looking ahead, we still have another round or two of showers, I think, this evening, but we are definitely on the backside of this storm system. That's the great news. You look over my shoulder, you'll see America's Mattress Live Tower Cam, a couple breaks in the sky. Now, if you recall, we did see a couple breaks in the sky earlier today, a little bit of sunshine during the midday, a little bit of rain after that, then back and forth. And that's kind of how our evening should play out, back and forth with some clearing, some lulls, and then I think one or two more rounds of rain showers. Certainly, we're all going to be under this flash flood watch. This is a concern through midnight tonight, so please exercise caution. Interstate 70 is closed because of the Grizzly Creek burn scar. Went under a flash flood warning last night. CDOT has kept that stretch of interstate closed as a result of the heavy downpours that have occurred throughout the day. Actively raining right now in that canyon, but for us here on the western slope, well, the Grand Valley is looking rather tranquil right now, and Delta is taking a bit of a break. But further to the east along 50, Olathe, Montrose cannot say the same. So I'll share with you what I know, because this system is exiting out. It's going to leave behind some hefty rainfall amounts, even some snow in some areas. And then there's the weekend to look forward to. Stay right there.
Thanks, Russ. Logan and I were having a lot of fun out here, but it's not just peaches that are being celebrated here in Palisade.
That's right. As well as the peaches, we're also celebrating the entire history of Palisade. And Cora Dickey found out all about that with the opening of a brand new museum.
2, 1. Go for it.
The Palisade Historical Society is in with the old with Palisade's first museum. Palisade's History Museum is the log building located on G Road, which was once Bunty's shop for freight lines. After 3 years of planning and fundraising, everyone involved made sure having the museum back was worth the wait.
It also gave us a little more time and gave the museum a little more time to mature their exhibits and gather things and really put it together. So they've done a fantastic job in there.
The findings inside cover history that gives some visitors a trip down memory lane, showing others a whole new world.
There were lots of things I didn't know about. It's interesting to see how they used to pick peaches on their stilts and things like that.
From coal mining back then to how peaches are harvested now, the Historic Museum tells Palisade's story from the very beginning. Like Palisade, the museum's new home went through a series of changes, with construction projects costing thousands of dollars. Other costs for the museum are much more fruitful. Owners of the building, Kirk and Cindy Bunty, set a 99-year lease with the annual rent of $1, so the museum would always have somewhere to stay.
I would hope that this museum is available for all the people in the community, for younger folks that can maybe start learning about history. It should be here for generations.
Reporting for Fox 4 News, I'm Cora Dickey.
Great to see Palisade getting a museum to celebrate all the history of this town. Especially great to see all the people here at the Ice Cream Social, but the Ice Cream Social wouldn't be anything without those famous Palisade peaches.
It absolutely would not be the same without the peaches, but a lot of prep work goes into getting those peaches on top of the ice cream, and Chan Sticklin was there to see how it all happens.
The countdown begins. Not the one in the Big Apple, but the one here in Palisade. The Palisade Peach Festival, a Valley favorite, is almost here, and one of Palisade's most well-known individuals is excited.
You know, you could be blindfolded and you would taste a Palisade peach, and as soon as that juice started to trickle down your chin and go on your clothes, you go, this is a Palisade peach. It's sweet and juicy.
On Wednesday, crews cleaned, prepped, and sprayed about 100 cases of peaches just in time for the festivities. Peaches don't just make your taste buds happy. Money from the festival helps generate economic growth, vitally important to the Western Slope.
It's very important to celebrate. We want to celebrate our growers, those who grow them, those who pick them, and those of us who eat them, by the way.
A key player in the area, Strive, who owns Elitist Fruits and works with those with disabilities, says the community involvement is the most important.
It was really great to bring that piece into our organization as that community-supported, community-focused type business, so that we can all work together to bring that agricultural, the peach business. Strive is a great organization as well.
A tradition spanning 52 years in the Grand Valley.
It is. It's a tradition that everyone looks forward to, and it's our biggest event over here. And we know we have the best peaches in the world.
And those peaches wouldn't be the best without
the days of sun, the good old Colorado days of sun, kiss those peaches, and the tender loving care by our growers.
Reporting for Fox 4 News, I'm Chance Sticklin.
Anticipated events happening here at the Ice Cream Social is the crowning of the Peach Queen and the Peach Royal Court, and it's happening right now.
Yeah, it's happening right now behind us, and we had the chance to actually catch up with Jake Jabs, the man who crowns the Royal Court, and he explained exactly how these traditions are what makes these festivities special.
The master of ceremony of sorts for the crowning of the Peach Queen. Can you talk about just how important these traditions are to keep carrying them on?
Well, what I've seen about with the Peach Festival is growing. And there's more people involved, there's bigger companies involved. I remember when it was just us and the ice cream pretty much, and now you got bands playing, and we got the Jake Jabs the contest, with the kids, and we got other vendors, big companies supporting the Peach Festival. It's become a big deal.
Oh, it definitely has. I mean, we're going on year 52, so we're talking 5 decades of history with this thing. Do you have a favorite moment from the past years of the ceremonies?
Well, I get up and play with the band, and I'm a musician. And that's always fun for me to get up, sing Country Roads and some of the old favorite songs, to get the crowd singing along with us up there. So that's probably my favorite moment, is playing with the band and getting the crowd involved in the music.
That's something that we see from the start to finish, just like you said, from the Ice Cream Social to the events on Saturday, Sunday, the farmers market. The crowd is still out there. People are still excited about peaches. It's hard not to get excited about this
sort of thing.
And
more people every year, more people showing up. I think it's become more than just a Palisade Peach Festival. It's become, for Mesa County Peach Festival, probably the state of Colorado's Peach Festival. Really,
definitely.
More and more.
I know a lot of people on the Front Range looking forward to it.
Right.
Hopefully the roads cooperate and allow them out here. After a year off, even more important for you to see a successful Peach Festival this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think so many things that we didn't do last year, I think the excitement is bigger, because the opportunity to do it. We don't have to wear the masks and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it gets better, and this year's going to be a special year.
Lena Takata alongside Logan Wilbur, live in downtown Palisade for the Ice Cream Social. And it's a great event, but it's just one of the many awesome things going on this weekend as part of the 52nd Annual Palisade Peach Festival.
Now you can find a whole list of the events online or in these circulars, but there's just a few that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, now of course the Palisade Peach Fest kicks off 3 p.m. The gates at the Riverside Park open right away. The Peach Jam stage is open, and music and live concerts lasting through Saturday night. Now, some of you are going to want to get to bed early on Friday night because there's a pancake breakfast starting at 7 a.m. And right after you get all those carbs, Lena, you can go for a run. The Peachy 5K race and 10K race starting at 7:30.
It's just going to speed eat those pancakes so you can make it to the race.
Race those
but
pancakes. But
not just pancakes. There's peach eating contests for both kids and adults scheduled on Saturday. And there's plenty of other events to enjoy throughout the weekend for the whole family.
Yeah, we've heard from the director of the Chamber of Commerce. There's some events that are private, including some dinners focused on the peaches and, of course, some wine from Palisade. There's a lot of cooking demonstrations, vendors all over the place, and something special that we need to tell people where we're going to be.
We will be judging the Palisade Peach Barbecue Contest. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called.
It's the Peach Barbecue Throwdown.
All right, Peach Barbecue Throwdown. Very excited to be judging that. Very excited to get in on some of that barbecue.
Yeah, if you can get down here now to enjoy some ice cream, great way to get down there, enjoy some of those peaches. Saturday at 4:30. We're heading into break, but we will be right back. We've got the ice cream for the Ice Cream Social here. We couldn't wait. We had to join in on the fun.
Yes, this is actually still my first one. I'm still working on it. It's delicious. Logan, that's your second. You're really eating a lot of ice cream.
I skipped breakfast and lunch looking forward to this
Okay,
today.
that's very fair. You left some room in your tummy for it. I can't blame you.
Now, you grew up with white peaches.
I did.
How are we doing with these?
Ooh, I've never had the combination of peaches with ice cream, so these are amazing.
I'm looking forward to it. We also had the chance to look forward to a viewer who called us. She got to be in some movies with John Wayne in the past. She wrote a poem. We're going to share this poem online, so you're going to want to check out our Facebook page to see that poem all about the Palisade Peach.
Yeah, her whole family's lived here for generations, she said. It's very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. We'll share that on Facebook. Your weather forecast is coming up. You got to know what the weather's going to be like for the entire weekend, because it's the 52nd annual Palisade Peach Festival.
Stay with us.
Take a look at these current temperatures right here. And if I were in Palisade eating peach ice cream, I would get a little flambe going with the peaches, maybe a little roasted peach on there, just to get a little hot and cold going on. That's what we have going on right now. Cool temperatures thanks to the rain and the cloud coverage that we had today and yesterday too. We're going to make a recovery tomorrow with the temperatures, but not a big jump. We're going to be in the mid-70s and then the mid-80s for the weekend. The weekend's looking really good, by the way. Current wind speeds 5 to 15 miles per hour. We've had some stronger wind gusts. I'm not really concerned about wind gusts heading into the evening hours. I think we've subsided. I think we're going to be done with the stronger winds, but we're not done with the rain showers. Yesterday, this bullseye of severe weather was in Utah. Now it's kind of migrated toward the front range. So that's good news. That's a good sign that we are in the exit mode of this system, and that's currently what we're going to be dealing with for the next 6 hours, the system exiting our region. Through midnight tonight, we still have the flash flood watch. That means we still have the expectation of more showers and thunderstorms, and that's exactly what I expect to have. Another couple of rounds after the sun goes down, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, even 11 o'clock, we could have 2 to 3 more rounds of active weather. In fact, we're looking at some of that coming online and radar in a moment. Glenwood Springs, Glenwood Canyon, the Grizzly Creek I-70, that is shut down since last night. They had that flood warning upgrade. CDOT's kept the interstate closed since then. In the little green circle, that neon circle, that's a flood advisory. That's for areas around the mountains. That's for areas on the plateaus. That's for areas in the urban that are receiving a lot of rainfall, have received a lot of rainfall, and drainage just cannot keep up. So small streams and even storm drains themselves are a little bit slow to recede, but slowly receding they are. Just at this hour, we're looking at another round of storms coming towards Montrose, Delta. We still have light rain falling around the Glenwood Springs area and getting into Highway 82 along El Jebel. So with that being the case, that's not our final round of weather. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds rolling through Grand Junction. We picked up half an inch of rain between lunch and like 2 o'clock today. A lull right now, yes, but there's more. I anticipate more showers coming through, especially coming at us out of the southern zones. Looking upstream, big batch of moisture working its way towards Montrose now. So could get a little breezy, but I don't expect a whole lot of wind gusts out of this. But more rain, absolutely. More rain is expected. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out Palisade on the radar. It's nice right now. Another couple of hours around 7 o'clock. We could see things start to deteriorate and fill back in. Certainly by the 8:30, 9 o'clock hour, we should be getting more measurable rain. Speaking of measurable rain, Grand Junction, second day in a row of getting record-breaking rainfall totals. And we're still adding it up, but we set a record yesterday. We're setting a record today. And of course, there's this late night activity getting towards the midnight hour that I was just referencing. And now I want to point out, once we get into early Friday morning, that's snow. That's on the highest peaks of the Central Divide or the Central Mountain zones. The Elks right around Pitkin County, that's going to get a fresh coat of paint tomorrow morning. Speaking of tomorrow, we're going to see a few clouds lingering around, but into Friday and Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy finishes. Very nice, and we're going to be dry. We don't have rain in our pattern, but our soil, everything is saturated right now, so just be patient walking through the yard, or if you get upon a little puddle of water on the sidewalk or in the roads. Temperatures tomorrow, certainly not in the 50s and 60s, closer to the 70s and 80s. So a subtle improvement in the temperatures. And of course, look at these. These are the highs today, stuck in the 60s. So getting through the weekend, we do expect a little bit more sunshine and some drying. We leave the storms behind. Actually, they're leaving us behind. So we will slowly dry out and slowly warm up. We'll get to the average temperatures for this time of the year starting next week. So the weekend itself, not overly hot, certainly not rainy, with a little bit of sunshine. A few mountain storms notwithstanding, I think the weekend itself is going to turn out to be really great. So get out and enjoy it wherever it is on the western slope you want to be.
Oh boy, welcome back, sports fans. Mike Kretz here on this, a rainy Thursday on the western slope. Turns out skies are gray on the front range as well, but not before the curtains fell on the final day of Broncos training camp. Our Jocelyn Stafford has one last look from Inglewood.
Well, here we are, the last day of the 2021 Broncos training camp here at the UC Health Center. Denver is preparing for their matchup against the Seahawks this Saturday at 8 p.m. We got to talk to some more players today. Let's check it out. As day 17 arrives, it's no surprise that the quarterback battle has not been settled. But we do know that Teddy Bridgewater is starting this Saturday. Pat Shurmur says while Bridgewater is experienced, he sees a lot of potential in Drew Lock.
You know, we've seen the improvement. You know, we've seen a young player, in my opinion, get better with an off season and now a training camp, and we're all together, and he can deal with me a little better. You know, we all work together better.
While Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater have been the focus of this training camp, we want to mention another key player for the team. One special player that I'm sure we've all heard of is Broncos linebacker Von Miller. Well, Von Miller just had a son that didn't keep him from coming into practice today. After a severe ankle injury that kept him out for the 2020 season, he says he's ready for this year and eager to play.
Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back running around. Feels good to, travel with the team. I traveled with the team last week. That was my first time in an away hotel since 2019. It's never about like, dang, I came from this. I was injured this time last year. None of that. You just get in the motion, get in the routine, and you just keep on pushing. So.
Looking at the rest of preseason and beyond, Miller says that while the roster is pretty similar to last year, this team has completely transformed.
We got a great team, man. We got great support players as well. Got great special teams players. We got all type of big, strong guys. Our team, we have some of the same players that we had last year, but our team looks totally different.
Well, this training camp has been one to remember for the Broncos, and they're just getting started this year. We can't wait to see what all of the teams do in regular season. For KREX Sports, I'm Jocelyn Stafford.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Back here on the Western Slope, a number of cancellations, including the Grand Junction Rockies, rained out for a consecutive night. It's going to be a busy weekend of baseball at Simplicios. Tonight's game will be made up on Sunday. Deuces Wild here, the 22nd, will now be a doubleheader that gets underway at 2 o'clock. Last but certainly not least, great news for local high school sports fans. D51 has announced that there will be no limits on the amount of fans welcomed into local sports venues this fall. Some things remain like last year, including the process for purchasing tickets. Luckily, no codes necessary this year, but you are going to have to go online to D51's athletic website. We have a link up on westernslopenow.com. Hey, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Mike Kretz. We'll see you then.